One man charged at an officer with nothing but his bare fists and rage. The other escaped police custody, slipping away with handcuffs still locked on his wrists. In Aurora, Colorado, what began as a simple trespassing call quickly spiraled out of control. A man lurking in a parking lot turned aggressive, then violent, launching a sudden attack on a responding officer in broad daylight.
Where are your shoes at?
Surrounded by bystanders, with chaos unfolding in seconds. In West Allis, Wisconsin, a stolen car, a 7-mile high-speed pursuit, and a foot chase led officers to a suspect with drugs in his pockets and a plan to run.
Well, I don't know. Why are you back in this gate?
But even after his arrest, it wasn't over. At a hospital, still cuffed, sitting in a wheelchair, he made his move, bolted into the streets, vanishing into a quiet neighborhood and hiding for hours. Both cases were volatile.
Stop messing with that.
Both tested the limits of control, patience, and response, and both were captured second by second, frame by frame, through the lens of a police body cam.
Okay, you need to leave.
May 12, 2025, Aurora, Colorado. It was supposed to be a low-level trespassing call. Nothing urgent, nothing unusual. Just before 3 p.m., a call came into Aurora PD about a man loitering around an off-site airport
Get back.
parking lot, the kind where travelers leave their cars during long trips. The location, 19,900 block of East 56th Avenue. The issue, a man was checking door handles and refusing to leave the property. The staff described him as agitated, not armed, but not cooperative either. About 2 hours later, around 5:15 p.m.
You're not in trouble, man.
Patrol officer arrived on scene. Staff repeated the same concern. The suspect was still there, and now more aggressive. That suspect was 32-year-old Rashad Johnson. The officer located him easily. Rashad wasn't hiding. He was standing openly near the lot. No weapons in hand, no yelling, just a heavy tension in the air. The officer tried to engage, calmly, professionally. Bodycam footage shows the officer speaking clearly, gesturing for Rashad to stop and talk. But the moment didn't hold. Within seconds, Rashad charged.
Ground, I'm gonna shoot you if you do not get on the ground! Get on the ground!
He lunged forward on not running away, but toward the officer. The camera jolts. The audio erupts. You hear a grunt, then a scuffle. The officer falls backward, trying to maintain control. Commands start flying. Stop! Get back! Don't do this! But Rashad doesn't stop. They wrestle on the pavement. Raw, unfiltered struggle. Nearby, workers and bystanders scramble to call 911. One caller says, "There's a fight. A cop is down. He's being attacked. He needs help."
Up! Get down! 212 shots fired.
Now, the officer attempts to de-escalate using less lethal tools, likely a taser, maybe pepper spray, but Rashad keeps pressing, strong, violent, unrelenting. There's a pause, then the moment breaks. The officer, fearing for his life, draws his weapon and fires a single shot. Rashad collapses. But even after the shot, the officer doesn't back off. He doesn't run. He checks Rashad, wounded, bleeding, and immediately begins first aid. He applies pressure to the wound, radios for paramedics, maintains control of the scene. Other officers arrive within minutes. They assist, secure the area, and stabilize the officer, who's visibly shaken and bruised from the attack. Rashad is rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but he doesn't make it. He's pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The officer, though injured, survives. Treated at a local hospital and released the same day. It began with one man.
I'm okay, I got him at gunpoint still, waiting for more cars.
walking through a parking lot. It ended with officers fighting for their lives, and every frame, every second was caught on camera. April 15th, 2025, West Allis, Wisconsin. This one didn't start with a phone call. It started with a camera. A flock safety camera, one of hundreds planted across the city, flagged a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. The vehicle was stolen, traced back to Fitchburg. It was found idling at a Clark gas station near 84th and West Greenfield Avenue. The driver wasn't just anyone. He was 29-year-old Charles Gregory, already on law enforcement radar, already facing charges in another county. As the officer approached quietly, Charles noticed him. He didn't hesitate. He hit the gas. Tires screeched, and in a blink, the Elantra tore out of the lot, launching a 7-mile high-speed pursuit through narrow streets, traffic, and even wrong-way lanes. Gregory drove recklessly, slicing between vehicles, ignoring red light. And risking lives at every intersection. Police stayed close but cautious. Finally, near a Brookfield business, officers pulled a strategic pit maneuver, spinning the Elantra into a stop. Gregory jumped out. Now on foot, he ran through alleys, parking lots, and fences, trying to outrun the officers on his heels, but they caught him, tased him, cuffed him inside his pockets. Drugs, a digital scale, and enough to prove intent to distribute. Gregory was taken into custody and transported to Aurora West Allis Medical Center for medical evaluation. But he had other plans. He told officers his ankle hurt, requested a wheelchair and an ankle wrap, said he couldn't walk properly. Medical staff complied. Officers didn't suspect what was next. As they opened the rear squad door to transport him, Gregory leapt from the wheelchair, still in handcuffs, still under supervision, and he ran, fast. Officers chased him again through a nearby neighborhood, but this time he vanished. He was gone for nearly 3 hours. Finally, one officer noticed something strange. A garage door with a broken panel, slightly ajar. Inside, hidden in a parked car, they found Gregory, still handcuffed, still breathing heavily, still trying to avoid what was inevitable. He was rearrested, properly secured, and this time no escape. Gregory now faces 7 felony charges, including burglary, drug possession, reckless endangerment, escape from custody, and more. If convicted, he could face up to 72 years in prison and $100,000 in fines. One moment he was caught, the next he was gone. But body cams, hospital logs, and garage footage told the full story. 2 men, 2 very different responses. One attacked an officer on camera and paid with his life. The other tried to outsmart the system and almost got away. In Aurora, the officer tried to talk, then had to fight. In West Allis, the suspect fled, got caught, and then vanished in plain sight, using nothing more than a wheelchair and bad timing. In both cases, body cams didn't just capture the chaos. They captured the pressure, the restraint, the hesitation, and ultimately, the decisions that had to be made in real time. There were no perfect outcomes, only tough calls, and the consequences that followed.